皆さんお疲れ様です。このチャンネルでは漫画や映画を英語で紹介することで、飽きずに楽しく英語を勉強することを目的としています。英語を聞くことを毎日の習慣としてリスニング力を伸ばしましょう。それでは本日のリスニング学習スタートです。
Hello everyone. Welcome to the English Listening Studio. Today I'm going to introduce the famous movie, Titanic. This video is part 2. Historical context and accuracy. While Titanic is a work of fiction, it is rooted in historical events, particularly the sinking of the RMS Titanic, which occurred on the night of April 14 to 15, 1912. The tragedy remains one of the most well-known and devastating maritime disasters in history. The ship, touted as unsinkable, was a marvel of engineering at the time, boasting luxury and safety features that were considered revolutionary. However, the disaster revealed not only flaws in design but also the social and class divides that shaped the events that unfolded. The film does an excellent job of recreating the atmosphere of the ship, providing viewers with a sense of the opulence of the first-class cabins, the lively and cramped conditions of third class, and the deadly chaos of the sinking. James Cameron meticulously researched the Titanic's design, its passengers, and the events leading up to the ship's tragic end. The production team even constructed a near-identical replica of the ship for filming, ensuring that the film's depiction of the Titanic's grandeur and eventual destruction was as realistic as possible. Cameron included several real-life figures among the characters in the film, such as Captain Edward Smith, Jonathan Hyde, the ship's captain. J. Bruce Ismay, Jonathan Hyde, the managing director of the White Star Line, and Molly Brown, Kathy Bates, an American socialite and one of the few first-class passengers to survive. However, the film's central narrative, focusing on the fictional love story between Jack and Rose, was fictionalized for emotional and dramatic effect. While the film's portrayal of the sinking itself is largely faithful to the known facts, some liberties were taken for narrative purposes. For example, the sequence where the Titanic splits in half was dramatized, and certain characters' fates were altered or fictionalized. Nevertheless, Titanic serves as a tribute to the lives lost in the disaster and a reminder of the human cost of such a tragedy. The musical score, a legacy of emotion and memory. One of the most iconic elements of Titanic is its musical score, composed by James Horner. The soundtrack played a crucial role in amplifying the emotional weight of the story, turning simple scenes into deeply poignant moments. The score blends orchestral music with Celtic influences, evoking a sense of the time and place while underscoring the film's central themes of love, loss, and tragedy. The most memorable piece from the Titanic soundtrack is undoubtedly My Heart Will Go On, performed by Celine Dion. The song, written by Will Jennings and composed by James Horner, became a global phenomenon, winning multiple awards, including the Academy Award for Best Original Song and the Grammy Award for Record of the Year. The song's haunting melody and emotional lyrics perfectly capture the essence of the love story between Jack and Rose, and its frequent use throughout the film, particularly in key moments, elevates the emotional stakes. Beyond My Heart Will Go On, the rest of the film's score is equally striking. Tracks like Rose and Southampton build tension and pathos, capturing both the wonder and the impending doom of the Titanic voyage. Horner's use of strings, piano, and brass creates an epic soundscape that complements the grandeur of the film's visuals while drawing viewers deeper into the emotional experience. The score is a significant part of the film's lasting impact and success, providing an oral foundation for the sweeping romance and tragedy that unfolds. It has become one of the most recognizable and beloved film scores of all time. Cinematography and special effects, a visual spectacle. The cinematography of Titanic, helmed by Russell Carpenter, is nothing short of spectacular. The film's visual impact plays a central role in creating its immersive world, whether in the moments of quiet intimacy between Jack and Rose, or the breathtaking wide shots of the Titanic sailing across the ocean. Carpenter's work emphasizes the vast scale of the ship, using sweeping aerial shots to showcase the grandeur of the vessel and the beautiful landscapes it traverses. The film's special effects were groundbreaking for the time, particularly in the sequences depicting the sinking. Cameron and his team employed a mix of practical effects, miniatures, and computer-generated imagery, CGI, to bring the disaster to life. The sequence where the Titanic hits the iceberg is a masterclass in tension building, with a sudden shift from calm to chaos, accompanied by the ship's catastrophic breach. The gradual sinking of the ship, with its lights flickering and water flooding the lower decks, is haunting and visually arresting, and the moment when the ship breaks in two is one of the most iconic moments in modern cinema. The realism and intensity of the sinking sequence were achieved through meticulous attention to detail. To create the film's depiction of the Titanic's final moments, the production team built large, realistic sets and utilized water tanks to simulate the rising tides that claimed the ship. The ship's eventual sinking was captured with precision, blending practical effects with CGI to create a seamless and immersive experience. The film's use of light and color also adds to the emotional depth of the story. The warm, golden hues that dominate the first-class areas of the ship give way to darker, colder tones as the tragedy unfolds. The lighting choices help underscore the emotional shifts in the narrative, from the idyllic beauty of the ship's maiden voyage to the tragic destruction that follows. The legacy of Titanic, a cultural phenomenon. Titanic had an unprecedented impact on popular culture, becoming a global phenomenon that resonated with audiences worldwide. The film's success at the box office, grossing over $2 billion, made it the highest-grossing film of all time until it was surpassed by Avatar in 2009, also directed by James Cameron. Titanic's cultural significance went far beyond its financial success, as it sparked a resurgence in interest in the historical tragedy of the Titanic and its passengers. The film's portrayal of the ship, its passengers, and the devastating sinking resonated with viewers, reigniting public interest in the real-life disaster. The film's influence extended to fashion, tourism, and even language. The image of Rose and her iconic Heart of the Ocean necklace became symbolic of the film's romance and tragedy, while the line "I'm the king of the world," spoken by Jack at the prow of the ship, became one of the most memorable catchphrases in film history. In the years following the release of Titanic, the film's lasting cultural impact was evident in various ways. The film contributed to a new wave of historical disaster films, inspiring directors and filmmakers to explore similar themes of tragedy, love, and human resilience. Additionally, the film's success brought attention to James Cameron's filmmaking talent, solidifying him as one of the most influential directors in Hollywood. Titanic also had a profound effect on the careers of its two lead actors, Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. DiCaprio's portrayal of Jack catapulted him to global stardom, and he would go on to become one of the most respected actors of his generation. Kate Winslet's portrayal of Rose earned her critical acclaim and numerous awards, including a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress. The chemistry between DiCaprio and Winslet became one of the film's defining aspects, and their on-screen romance remains one of the most iconic in cinematic history. Critical reception and awards. Upon its release, Titanic received widespread critical acclaim, particularly for its impressive visuals, captivating performances, and ambitious scope. Critics praised the film for its emotional depth, with many noting the chemistry between DiCaprio and Winslet as a key component of its success. The film was also commended for its historical accuracy, particularly in its detailed recreation of the ship and its depiction of the sinking. The film was honored with numerous awards and nominations, culminating in 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Original Song. Titanic tied with Ben-Hur, 1959, and The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, 2003, for the most Oscar wins in history. It also received accolades from the Golden Globe Awards, BAFTA Awards, and the Screen Actors Guild Awards, solidifying its place in film history. The film's success at the Academy Awards was particularly significant because it marked a return to the grandeur of epic filmmaking. In an era when more intimate, indie films were often favored, Titanic was a reminder of the power of big-budget, high-concept cinema. Its dominance at the Oscars reaffirmed its place as one of the most successful and influential films of its time. Conclusion: the enduring impact of Titanic. In conclusion, Titanic is much more than a historical drama or a romance. It is an epic cinematic achievement that continues to captivate audiences more than 2 decades after its release. James Cameron's ability to blend historical events with a deeply emotional love story, paired with groundbreaking visual effects and a stunning musical score, created a film that resonates with viewers on multiple levels. Its themes of love, sacrifice, class, and the fleeting nature of life continue to make it a relevant and powerful film. As a cultural phenomenon, Titanic broke box office records, won numerous awards, and became an indelible part of cinematic history. The film's lasting legacy is felt not only through its impact on film, but also in its influence on global popular culture. The romance between Jack and Rose, set against the backdrop of one of the greatest tragedies in history, remains an iconic and unforgettable aspect of cinema, and Titanic will undoubtedly continue to be remembered and cherished for years to come. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.